Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to join the Patreon. Hey, I just got off the phone with my man TB, Tyron Brown. I wanted to do an interview, but the conversation was so in depth. I just thought it probably would have shaded our interaction. But I was he brought to my attention that boxing is in such a great state, and I know I did this video a couple days ago, but I just want to reinforce it. Like, you always reinforce like positive interactions, and uh, you reinforce it because you know other people are watching. Sometimes you have to do things for the rest of the world. You have to be a trailblazer, whether it's just optically, visually, or whether it's just physically actually doing it. And I spent, I would say, total on the individual basis, I probably spent the hour with each of these people with the three titles: Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and Claressa Shields. And I know there are many other fighters that fits in this realm. You got the Secure Stephensons. I haven't covered him in a while. Haven't interviewed him in a while, but there are so many other young fighters, and so I'm not excluding them. I'm just saying, just based off of what I was able to interact with this weekend. Man, we are in such a great place, man. Like, as it relates to the future of boxing. I remember November, October, it was kind of flat. We wasn't getting the fights we wanted. We were, PBC goes dark in October, and if PBC goes dark because they have the majority of the fighters, boxing kind of gets kind of flat, because we don't have like the upper echelon guys fighting on a consistent basis. So I remember the narrative online that we were frustrated. We wasn't getting the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight. The welterweight division wasn't unifying. We were just getting off Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder not agreeing to terms. The Tyson Fury fight hadn't been finalized on location, and the date was kind of up in the air. You understand? So all that from like the summer to like the Deontay Wilder fight, that was the great narrative, right? And now we're January 20th, and I can tell you guys, with all these being visual and being visual stimulating now, we have Fox deal, we have Fox and ESPN. Let's just highlight these two, whether they're enemies, whether they're foes, whatever the case may be. Every weekend there will be, in my humble opinion, there will be 1 million people plus watching boxing, whether it's on Fox or whether it's on Showtime or whether it's on ESPN. And for that, I am like, and we got the Joey Spencers of the world. I failed to mention Joey Spencer, but man, we are in. It's just exciting. It's probably like when 1997, when we had Shane Mosley and Floyd Mayweather coming through. You know what I mean? We had the Zab Judas. We're like, man, what boxing is like? Woo-wee. It's the lick. You know what I mean? Roy Jones was just coming into his prime, and was like, man, who's gonna replace Roy Jones? Who's gonna be this? He was approaching, his 40th. He was like in the prime, and people were questioning, whatever the case may be. Julio Cesar Chavez was who he was at the time, and Oscar De La Hoya had just won the '92 Olympics. He was going into his prime. He had just beat Cesar Chavez. He was coming off of the controversial Pernell Whitaker win in 1997-98. My memory serves me correctly. But right now, in that space, that transitional phase when Floyd was coming into the game, and we had these young fighters, and I don't know the true narratives. I was a college student and an athlete myself, so I wasn't following it every day as I do now. But these young stars we have today, we're in great hands, and I use "we're" in quotation marks, and outside of my personal endearment for these athletes, it embraces the entire sport of boxing. You understand what I'm saying? And I think these black kings and queens will lead us into the next stratosphere of boxing, and whoever these kids are, they're in amateur programs in their respective states. They're coming next. We got Lorenzo Truck Simpson coming through. I'm excited to see him for the first time with my own eyes, February 9th, on Tank's undercard. I had a chance to see Tank spar. I had a chance to see Tank interact with me being a fly on the wall, and that rarely happens because every time I see Tank, I'm trying to get a sound bite because he lives in Baltimore. I don't see him quite as often as I wish I could. Devin Haney, I don't see him as quite often as I should. So when I have a chance to interact with these kids, I'm always have a camera in their face, asking questions, whether it be to their likings or not. Claressa Shields, I definitely don't see her as much as I would love to see her, but I think that I don't care what the fuck you root for, whether you think Devin Haney's better than Robert Easter's better than Devin Haney, uh, Tank Davis is better than Lomachenko's better than Tank Davis, whether you think Claressa Shields is Hammer, Claressa Shields is better than Hammer better than Claressa Shields. I think that's the young lady's name, right? It doesn't matter. I'm talking about just the whole composite of them. I interviewed 3 very mature, an extended period of time. So I spent minimum 2 hours interviewing Tank this weekend, or following him. I spent a minimum of hour and a half, 2 hours interviewing Devin Haney this weekend. I spent a lot of time. I only interviewed Claressa Shields twice for like 20 minutes at a time. So about 50 minutes, probably 40 minutes, but I was around her throughout the whole event because the event was a great event. I thought Swanson Media and Brittany from and Tom Brown and TGB I thought it was amazing because everyone was accessible. Throughout the whole day, they had Radio Row, so celebrities and actors and fighters and their teams were doing Radio Row all throughout the day. So we always were getting waves and waves of people, and so from that vantage point, I thought it was exceptional. But when I say we're in great hands, we are, man. And I haven't even interviewed Shakur Stevenson. I haven't even interviewed Teofimo Lopez that was my first interaction. I haven't interviewed Rolly. He was around all day, but everyone wanted to get to him. And it's like a seafood buffet Friday and Saturday in the media room, right? Like, it's like, do you want red snapper? Do you want catfish? Do you want shrimp? Regardless of what you pick, it's still going to be one of your favorites. I'm allergic to seafood. I don't eat seafood, but I'm just giving you guys, an example. You know what I mean? Or whether you just want, steak, or whether you want like whatever you want was in that media room. And but my overall feel as I'm digesting what goes on outside of the ring, I can talk about Adrian Broner, you guys know, ad nauseum for the next week, and the views will be amazing. But I just want to give like my honest and earnest perspective on how I feel, like how my spirit feels. Like my spirit feels great as it relates to boxing. Whether they lose or whether they win, I truly believe that people gonna call it a Renaissance period because the word Renaissance embellishes really the moment, and it pierces like your psyche, like the Renaissance of boxing is back. These young fighters are coming, but really boxing ain't never really went nowhere. We just have highs and lows, uneven flows. We have peaks, we have valleys, but we are in a great space. I'm excited to see Truck. I'm excited. I've been watching this guy on YouTube for years, and I'm excited I get to shake his hand and say, welcome to the professional ranks. You're going to be seeing me over the years, over your career. I get to follow your career I saw his pro debut, was it last month or this month sometime? I saw his pro debut in the DC area. Thanks to DC Mike TV. He has a YouTube channel. I followed him. He covered him that week of it. I believe that was his pro debut. And I watched all his videos. I saw him train and all that. So go subscribe to DC Mike's TV. Thanks to him, I was able to get a great introspective of Truck Simpson. Truck Simpson, right? Yeah, Lorenzo Truck Simpson. So that's where we're at. I'm elated, man. I'm just excited, man. Like, and the funny thing is, whether you have a YouTube channel, your YouTube channel ain't gonna do nothing but get bigger and better and stronger. Whether you're a young journalist, it's nothing gonna do but get better, and stronger. No matter what type of medium you're at, it's going to be in a great space because of the greatness of these athletes that I highlighted in the title, and the guys and the young ladies that I didn't highlight in the title. There's so many. The only allows me to put 100 characters in the title, so I can't put everyone's name there. But we are in a great space, man. Joey Spencer is awesome. When I say Joey Spencer is awesome, he's fucking awesome. When I say Claressa Shields is awesome, she's fucking awesome. And we're not going to, and Devin Haney, awesome. Tank Davis, awesome. And honestly, we're not going to have a perfect relationship. I'm going to be in boxing until I'm 80, to death. You know, whether I'm covering fights or whether I'm just doing it on YouTube, you know. I'm always going to have a stake in this. And they will have a bigger stake. They will dictate the narrative that we talk about on YouTube. I just hope and wish that that they optimize us, because I think in 10 years, between social media and their platforms, that's going to be the new wave. You know, obviously we're still going to have the ESPNs, the Showtimes, and the Fox studios, but outside of those major engines, I think YouTube, I think Instagram, I think the more memes that they create about themselves or people make about them, I think the better it will be. But overall, I'm just elated. I woke up from my nap and I was just like, man, TB, I was on the phone with TB, and he just brought that to my attention, you know, and all these stories are completely different. I don't know the true background of Joey Spencer's story. So I'm not going to elaborate on his, but we all familiar with Claressa Shields. We saw the documentary. We're very familiar with Tank Davis. Devin Haney has been on the internet since he was 6 years old, 7 years. I don't know how old the kid was, but I remember he was a little kid. You know what I mean? So let's push these stories. You know what I mean? And they're going to win some. They're going to win a lot. They're going to lose a little. I'm not projecting losses upon them, but the law averages say that these crop of fighters will have to fight each other. And at some point, someone's going to lose. But look how they're propelling the sport of boxing. And it's just exciting. So shout out to those camps that I mentioned. There's so many other fighters. You know, we got Jaron Ennis coming up. He got next at 147. Gerard Ennis, I think his name is. We got Montana Love. You know, we'll see where he goes. He had a draw. I believe the last fight I saw him in, he had a draw. And I know I'm going to miss a lot of names, so don't be offended. You know what I mean? We got some other fighters. We got Dillian Price. I know he took a loss this weekend, but his skill set is just fucking amazing. You know, we got Rolly. We got Teofimo Lopez. We got Shakur Stevenson. We got Ryan Garcia. You know, I don't fuck with his promotion company, but Ryan Garcia is a fresh face in boxing. He's bringing in a whole new audience that will touch and inspire, you know, an audience that will bring dollars to the table, will bring eyes to the TV set, you know. So I'm excited, man. I am elated and excited about this, man. And I haven't been this excited in a long time, because we get caught up in today's stories, right? I thank God that I didn't say, well, I can just write about Floyd Mayweather. I can just do a video on Floyd. I'm glad that I invested in Tank Davis and Devin Haney and Joey Spencer and now Claressa Shields when they were young and getting it. And when they become 40-0, 45-0, and they multi-division world champions, I'm going to sit back with Lincoln. Lincoln's going to be about 15 years old, and we're going to sit back, and my son going to say, you know her, Claressa Shields. You know him, Tank Davis. You know, by then they'll be doing color commentating by then, and maybe have they big-time promotional companies, and, you know, but my son going to be like, I remember you coming home from Vegas, New York, Maryland, Dallas, talking about that, you know. So you guys are going to impact my conversation, my daily interactions with my kids, you know. Lincoln comes to me every morning. The next day, you going to boxing today? So anyways, man, I just wanted to share this enthusiasm with y'all, you know, and I'm happy, man. I'm thoroughly happy. Like I know you guys hear the joy in my voice, but y'all should hear the joy in where boxing is at, because I remember November. Those were some dog ass days. Like, I'm tired of this shit. all these fucking welterweights won't fight Errol Spence. Fucking Anthony Joshua's a fucking heavyweight, and he won't step up to the plate and fight Deontay Wilder. Whatever side you're on. Maybe you thought Deontay Wilder didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua. Maybe you thought Terrence Crawford was running from Errol Spence. Maybe you thought Errol Spence was running from Terrence Crawford. You have your stake, and you have your make your claim for whatever side you on. It's okay. It only pushes the narrative of boxing. But 2022, and these guys are household names, and you know, I mean, if they're not now, I hope that it gets there sooner. You know, but it's just I'm just overjoyed. You know, and this is one of the first weekends, honestly, where I had the time just to interact with them. You know, I'm not dying to be their friends. I don't want to go to the club with them and hang out. That's definitely not my ulterior motive. You guys know every weekend I have access to all these fighters, whether it's just phone conversations or whether it's actually hanging out with them. You know, you guys know I have the ability to hang out with them if I want to. I'm not really into much in the party scene as it relates with fight. I have real friends, you know what I mean? I'm not calling them not my real friends, but you guys know where I'm going in that direction. But I just want to tell their story. Like, I literally want to tell their story and you guys fall in love with them. That's what I want to do. Honestly, you guys say, man, that's an awesome piece. I didn't even know that about him. Like, I remember I shared the story about damn, I don't want to. Anyways, it when I was covering the Gary Russell fight, and I was telling them about forgive me for saying this, but Joe Diaz's father, how he gave up, how he was a truck driver, and he literally gave up being a truck driver and taught himself how to be a trainer. And he and Joe Diaz went on and had a great amateur career, had a great amateur pedigree, you know, and ended up having he's actually currently having a hell of a professional career. He's only lost to Gary Russell, and there's no shame in losing to the Superman of your division, you know. So, and we got the Russells, we got Antoine and Antonio, you know, so many of them, you know what I mean? We got the Russells, so I didn't even mention the fucking Russells. Give me a break, like damn, like so I said all that to say this: we're in a great state, you know what I mean? And these narratives and these stories that your favorite YouTube channel, your favorite writer, your favorite broadcaster is telling these stories, you get to fall in love with them, ride with them, and you know. But anyways, man, I'm about to get up and get it going. Now I got to do laundry, and family's at Disneyland, so I'm gonna clean up the house so we can just come home and just enjoy each other. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna put on my apron, and oh, you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys the best invention ever. The best. It's a little bit expensive. It costs about $500. But if you live in a home, I mean, I'm not bragging, but I have a pretty big home, right? I have a Ramba. Dog, I'm talking about cleaning the house. Dog, I just push a button, the Ramba will do the whole fucking house. I ain't got to sweep. All I got to do is mop the floors once a week, or, you know, Dre mops the floor, whoever mops the floors, you know. But the Ramba is amazing. It cleans the floor twice a day. You know, the kids be dropping shit and running around the house, you know what I mean? But if you have a home and you tired of sweeping, it's about Google it. The Ramba is about $500. Thank me later. All right. And it's like a pet. You just push the button and it goes across the whole house. And when it's done, it just goes right back to the charger. And it does what it do. So if you're tired of cleaning, if you don't want to clean like I got to clean sometimes, the Ramba is a hell of a gift for mom and dad, or your big brother, your big sister, or your wife, you know, or your husband, you know, so, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you know. But anyways, man, barbershop conversations. Boxing is in a great place, y'all. I feel it like in the core of my spirit. I re-listened to that Tank Davis interview, and you guys know I don't do shit to kiss ass. I don't have to kiss Tank Davis' ass to get an interview from him. I don't have to kiss Devin Haney's ass, Claressa Shields to get it. I don't want to hang out with these guys. I want to tell their story. Right, and you have to develop some sort of relationship for them to be intimate with you, like for them to open up to you. That 27-minute interview of Tank Davis you see him fucking maturing right before y'all. That's why I was telling Tyron, and I told you guys in a video earlier. That's why I intentionally didn't chop that video up into 27 minutes. Don't you know if I chopped that video up over its lifetime, that's a 500,000 views for me that I'm going to miss out on, minimum. If I make 8 videos out of that 27 minutes, that's literally 1,000,000 views that I'm going to get if I title it right, you know, from the Terrence Crawfords to him Lomachenko to him beefing on Twitter. If I title that shit right, you guys are going to click. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted you guys to watch the whole 27-minute clip, and you guys can visually see Tank brain just spinning and him finding the right words to articulate himself so he can sound like, not sound, so we can see his maturity. Like, he was so bright in that media room all fucking, man, I'm serious. Like, and then the Haneys, you know, I've never spent time with the Haneys, but I've been following, the Haneys know I've been following them and doing videos on them and talking about them for years, just because I've been enamored with his physical tools, you know. And you guys know personally how I feel about Claressa Shields, and this is the first time I really met her, and I've been doing videos on her for all year long, and you guys know genuinely how I spiritually feel about her plight, you know, and her toughness, you know. But anyways, man, enough about all this. Is 20 minutes. If you make it to the end of this video, thank you. I fucks with you. Y'all niggas don't be going listen to 20-minute videos. Y'all just click the title. Oh, that's 2 minutes. All right, good. I'm done. But I thank y'all. I know it's an NFL game on right now. I don't know the score. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I've been doing some work and catching up on some articles I haven't read, and watching some YouTube videos, and that's what I've been doing. Been talking on the phone. What up, Vince? Talked on the phone to the body snatcher for a few. Tyron Brown, all those my conversations. And I'm in New York Tuesday night. I get there Wednesday morning, and I'm fucking with y'all. If y'all don't fuck with me after these last 2 weeks, oh, first of all, if I don't fuck with y'all, because y'all were my eyes and ears all week. Even if you just said, like, did you send me a video clip of someone else's work, or whether you told me, can you please ask this fighter a question? You know, like, half of my Daniel Jacobs questions were from y'all. I didn't think of those questions. I can honestly say the questions I asked Daniel Jacobs, you guys inspired those questions. Whether it's from a YouTube channel, or whether it's from my peers or my subscribers, or in the comment section, you guys inspired that damn near entire question that I had from Daniel Jacobs. For real, for real. Because I haven't seen Daniel Jacobs in such a long time. And I personally think Daniel Jacobs' character is just, like, great character. Great character. He's going to have to be a dog in this fight, though. He's going to have to turn up a little bit. He's going to have to, Daniel Jacobs, I fucks with you. You're going to have to we got to find that Brooklyn out. I know you done been through a lot. You done been through cancer. You done changed or hired a full-time promotional company. You were with HBO. You done had some things go your way, not go your way. But at the end of the day, we need Brooklyn on May the 4th, okay? We need Brooklyn on May the 4th, okay, in Vegas, okay? We need Brooklyn to show up and show out. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Join the Patreon. I'll be back on my Patreon this week. I got some ideas for videos, so fucks with me. You guys know I've been heavy on this boxing shit, but I genuinely appreciate you guys. I love y'all. Call somebody today and tell them you love them. When the football game go off, tell them you love them. Call somebody and tell them you love them. Just call somebody and tell them thank you. Call somebody and tell them thank you. You know, they're going to say thank you right back. They're going to say, and it's going to make you feel good. And you're going to be inspired for the rest of the day. And it's going to carry over into Monday. And you're going to have a great day to Monday. Anyway, barbershop conversation. I'm gone. Peace.